Last year, in December, I did a talk titled The Meaning of Christ in Christmas. And this month, I want to follow up with that series, The Metaphysical Meaning of Christmas. So today's topic is, what would God say about the holidays? So as you know, I love to start with a story. And this is the story of a little boy who was drawing a picture. And his teacher said to him, "That's an interesting picture, Jerry. Tell me about that. What is that?" He said, "It's a picture of God." The teacher said, "But nobody knows what God looks like." And Jerry looked at her patiently and said, "They will when I get through." So there's a young man that had a window into the recognition of the one mind, the one spirit that creates all things out of itself. Behind his trusting and open consciousness was and is an organizing intelligence that produces ways for humanity, which includes all of us, to celebrate the joy and the wonder. And in the mind of that small child was a clarity, an understanding that, of course, he knew God. Why wouldn't he? Isn't that an interesting question? Why wouldn't he? You can ask yourself that. Why wouldn't God know me? Of course God knows me. And in this child's joy and wonder of this great one spirit, it just never occurred to him that he couldn't express the essence of it. He just did it. So as we embark on this holiday season this year, we're caught up with the spirit of expressing ourselves through giving and receiving with those we love. And in this season, we can also take time to look at the birth of new ideas, the ways of relating to our lives and how we live them. We too can see that one power as it creates and sustains the wonder of all life. Sandy Freeman Loomis, who was up until recently a minister in our Sacramento, California center, in an article for one of our magazines some years back, called this unwrapping the presents, only presents was spelled Prescence. What she meant by that is that this is a time that when we can unwrap God's gifts and celebrate the Spirit in the season. And I believe that this is one of the things that God said about the holidays. Open up to the gifts of the divine. Accept them for your own. Celebrate the good news. The presence of the Spirit in the season. So today I want to talk about some of the other things that I think God would say about the holidays. In fact, early this morning, I was awake really early this morning. Those of you who were at the party last night might not believe that, but I was. And one of the reasons I woke up was because I had a bulletin from God. You ready? This was special delivery, just for each of you. Bulletin from God. And you've heard it, you're going to hear it here, folks. Good morning. This is God. I will be handling all your problems today. I will not need your help. So have a marvelous day. Don't you just love that? And isn't that true for most of us, that when we're in our ordinary routine, we have time for our prayer work, our meditation time, our moments of quiet reflection. But along come the holidays, and things get turned upside down. Suddenly there isn't enough time each day to do everything on the list. And before we know it, those feelings of stress, of irritation, perhaps even panic, begin to press in on us. The very time when prayer, meditation, quiet reflection are the most needed are the times that we're apt to tell ourselves, We don't have time for them. Remember the the Mad Hatter in Alice in Wonderland? I'm late for a very important date. No time to say hello, goodbye. I'm late. And the hurrier we go, the behinder we get. Yet, amazing as it seems, when we take those few moments to be in communion with that timeless Creator, our day, our activities, even our thought processes are so much calmer, so much easier. Time itself seems to expand when we remember the power and the light within us. There's a beautiful quote from St. Augustine that is appropriate here. Let my soul take refuge from the crowding turmoil of worldly thoughts beneath the shadow of your wings. Let my heart, this sea of restless waves, find peace in you. So during these busy holiday times, let the first words you hear in the morning, good morning, this is God. I'll be handling all of your troubles for you today. I don't need your help. Isn't that cool? I just love that. For those of you who grew up reading wonderful stories like Louisa May Alcott's Little Women, you will undoubtedly remember the words of Jo March. Christmas won't be Christmas without any gifts. And I agree, Christmas wouldn't be Christmas without presents. But let's talk for a moment about the presents our God self treasures most. I believe God speaks through us about the real treasures. I believe God speaks through us about the real role of gifts during the holidays. Gifts that we can't buy in stores or find online. For example, in the Christmas story, the first gift was from Divine Spirit, and that was unconditional love. The next gift came from a Jewish teenager named Mary, and her gift was selflessness. The gifts of her fiancé, Joseph, were trust and faith. The gifts of the child born to them were forgiveness and wholeness. And in this story, angels brought gifts of glad tidings of comfort, joy, and peace. A shepherd boy's gift was generosity. The innkeeper's gift was the gift of compassion and charity. And as the story unfolds, 3 kings called Magi brought gifts of wonder, acceptance, and courage. So Christmas is all about gifts, but such gifts that when you really stop to think about it, these are gifts tied with heartstrings. These are gifts to surprise and delight. These are gifts that transform the mundane into the miraculous. Gifts that nurture the souls of both the giver and the given. Perfect gifts. Authentic gifts. Gifts of the Spirit. What would God say about such gifts? That the real spirit of Christmas is to truly open our hearts, to give such gifts with joy. And that the real spirit of Christmas is to truly open our hearts to receive such gifts with gratitude. Every year as Christmas approaches, I have a particularly poignant memory now. Tim's heard this story before, I'm pretty sure. Some years ago, on the second Sunday of this holiday season, instead of standing in front of my congregation like I am here now, in San Diego, my congregation, where I was to speak to them on the spirit of Christmas, I was unconscious in an operating room in San Diego. While one of our practitioners and the musician that day presented an impromptu service, an orthopedic surgeon was rebuilding my left ankle that I had broken the previous night in a fall. So instead of giving a talk that morning to inspire and uplift folks in the Christmas season, I was lying in a hospital bed and I wasn't even able to tell the doctors what to do. My topic that day was to have been Believe the Vision. Isn't that interesting? And though that's not today's topic, I do want to share with you the heart and soul of what was in that talk. Because I truly believe that this is also what God would say about the holidays. Believe the vision. Most of us have moved past that childhood wonder of visions of sugar plums dancing in our heads. But I sincerely hope that we never move past the vision of coming together with laughter and with joy. I hope we always can envision a world where peace and understanding can take precedent over individual differences and ideas. And most of all, believe the vision of your own specialness, your own uniqueness, your own light burning. It's like being a visionary in your own behalf. So tonight, when it gets completely dark, and well, maybe tomorrow night, go outside for a moment, look up at the stars. Look at the countless tiny points of light in the December sky. And recognize that just like the endless stars, each one of us has a specific place and a specific purpose in the universe. Christmas is a time for awe and wonder, a time for believing. Believe the vision you have for the best, the highest, the happiest, the most fun-filled life forever. Share yourself. Share your love. Share your life with those who matter to you. Reverend Jackie Edmiston, Science of Mind minister on the California Central Coast, once shared with me an experience that she had at Christmas time, and I want to share it with you. Each December, Jackie said she vowed to make Christmas a calm, peaceful experience. She cut back on non-essential obligations like extensive writing, like endless baking, like decorating, and even overspending. Any of that sound familiar to anybody? Yet she said she still found herself, by the time Christmas arrived, that she was truly unable to appreciate and enjoy the precious family moments and the true meaning of the season because she was exhausted. And often what happens when we get exhausted during the holidays? I don't even want to put that on the tape, but we get sick. Her son Nicholas was in kindergarten this particular year, and Christmas is always an exciting season for a 6-year-old. Wow. For months, he had been memorizing songs for his school's winter pageant. And Jackie just didn't have the heart to tell him that she had to work the night of that production. So she spoke to his teacher about it, and the teacher assured her that there would be a dress rehearsal the morning of the presentation, and that any parents who were unable to come that night were welcome to attend the morning presentation. So the morning of the dress rehearsal, Jackie arrived early. She found a spot on the cafeteria floor up close to where the stage was and sat down with several other parents who were there. And as they waited, the students were led into the room. Each class, accompanied by their teacher, sat cross-legged on the floor in the gym. Have you ever been to one of those Christmas performances in a gym where everybody sits on the floor? Oh, yeah. Then each group, one by one, rose to perform their song. Jackie said that because the public school system had long ago stopped working, and referring to the celebration as Christmas, she didn't really expect anything other than fun commercial entertainment. You know, songs like about reindeer and Santa Claus and snowflakes and jingle bells and stuff like that. So when her son's class rose to sing Christmas Love, she said she was slightly taken aback by that bold title. And each child was just beaming. They had on their fuzzy mittens, they had on red sweaters, they had snow caps on their heads. And those in the front row held up large letters, one by one, to spell out the title of the song. So as the class sang, C is for Christmas, the letter C appeared in the hands of one of the children. As they sang, H is for happy, the next child held up the sign H. And so on until each child holding up his portion had presented the entire message, Christmas Love. So the performance is going very smoothly until suddenly the audience noticed her. This small, quiet little girl in the front row, holding the letter M in Christmas, upside down. What did it say instead of M? W. The audience of 1st through 6th graders kind of snickered. But the little girl had no idea that she had made a mistake, so she had no idea that they were laughing at her. And she just stood tall, proudly holding her W. Although the teachers tried to shush the children, the laughter continued until the last letter was raised. And the whole room saw what that sign said at once. A hush came over the audience and their eyes began to widen. And in that instant, Jackie said, everybody in the room got the message. The reason they were there. What did that sign say? Christ was love. The reason that they celebrated the holiday in the first place. Why, even in the chaos, there was purpose in those festivities. Because when that whole sign was held high, it said Christ was love. So at this time of year, as students and followers of New Thought, metaphysics, we have a special opportunity to look within and to reverently allow that Christ consciousness to be born in us. That Christ consciousness is the spirit of unconditional love and of peace. And I believe that the very consciousness behind our Christmas celebration is God reminding us that love, after all, is a way of life. For when that idea becomes our belief and our faith, we'll have peace on earth. This is the way the Christ consciousness lives within us. And this is what Christmas is all about. Christ was love. So in the story of Jesus, whether you believe that actually happened or that's a tale, whether you believe that Jesus was a savior or that, like so many others, he was a master teacher who came to awaken others, know that within each one of us is that same consciousness which upon development becomes the capital letters in consciousness. So what would God say about the holidays? One, open up to the gifts of the divine. Accept them for your own. Celebrate the good news, the presence of Spirit in the season. Unwrap the presents, Prescence, along with the presents, and allow that light into your life. Second, take time to remember that the divine power and light is within you. Let the first words you hear every morning be, "Good morning, this is God." Remember the presence your God self treasures most: unconditional love, unselfishness, trust, forgiveness, wholeness, comfort, joy, peace, generosity, compassion, charity, wonder, acceptance, courage, comma. Add to that anything you choose. These truly are the gifts of Christmas. And these are the gifts of light that you can give to others as well. So what else would God say about the holidays? That the true spirit of Christmas is to open our hearts and give. Give with joy. And to receive with joy and gratitude. To believe the vision of your own dreams. Allow yourself the awe and the wonder of those dreams coming true. They do, you know, when you believe. What would God say about the holidays? That the Christ consciousness lives within us. Christ was love. And that consciousness lives in us. Though we may celebrate its reawakening or rebirth at this time of the year, it's always within, as our higher self, burning as brightly as we allow it to. So let there be light in your life. Let there be joy and peace and love and goodwill in your life. Let the Christ consciousness be. Let it be in your life and let it be reflected back to you everywhere you look. For as you let it into your life, you see it being reflected back to you. The divine spark in you is honoring the divine spark in me, honoring the divine spark in you. This is the light of the world. Namaste.
Namaste.
And so it is.